When we first run the control panel, the first thing it does is it interrogates the network analyzer. It takes the data being shown on the network analyzer screen, converts it into an array, and displays that array on the graph here. I'm going to place this graph into the memory because I'm about to change the resonant frequency behavior of the cavity under test. All I'm doing is taking out a glass tube that I'd already inserted into the cavity, and I'll retake the graph. Once again, simply interrogating the network analyzer, taking the data from the analyzer, turning it into an array, and placing the array on the graph here. As we can see a change in the resonant frequency at every other peak, as we would expect from the experiment. There's a change in resonant frequency here, but here we have a change in resonant frequency and a larger peak, so we're going to investigate this peak more closely. To tell the system that this is the one we wish to investigate, we simply place two lines by clicking on the graph. If I've made a mistake and accidentally placed the lines in the wrong place, all I have to do is press clear lines and start the process again. So I'm going to click here and here, and then I will click the focus button. What that has done is it's taken the position of those two lines and interpreted them as the start and stop frequency for the sweep oscillator. It then interrogates the network analyzer once more, takes the data, turns it into an array, and places it on the graph above. We can look at that and we can see that's a very nice looking curve. Nice single peak curve, nice and symmetrical. So we'll decide that's the curve we're going to save to memory. Simply just save. This is an example. Okay. That's now saved as an Excel file of the nature frequency in one column and decibel level in another column. But we can then investigate that using Excel, whichever software we want to analyze that with. But we're going to do an analysis using this simple button here. And what that does is it interprets the peak of that curve, the frequency at which the peak arrives, as the center frequency for the sweep oscillator, and then places a plus or minus 10 megahertz either side of that frequency, interrogates the network analyzer and places the data onto our graph. It also has taken for us the width of that peak, which in our case is 2.8 megahertz. That's at the 3 decibel level, so it comes from 28-ish, minus 28-ish even, down to minus 31, and this width here is 2.8 megahertz. The resonant frequency is recorded as 8.78, and the Q factor has been recorded as 3,137. We are then able, if we want to start the whole process again, if we just click reset, that sets the network analyzer to a full system reboot, which also reboots the sweep oscillator, and it retakes the graph from the beginning again. And displays it on the graph.